Hello and welcome back to week 10, session 10 of our spiritual quest. This is, we've got two after this, and then we'll be into our Advent season. Today we are going to continue with Jesus 24/7, which is based on a new creed, which was adopted by the United Church in 1988. The section that we're dealing with today, continuing with today, is we are called to be the church. And the phrase we are dealing with today is to seek justice and resist evil. We are called to be the church, to seek justice and resist evil. That gives us a sense of purpose. That gives us direction in what we are doing. And what we are doing is we are attempting to fulfill the United Church's commitment that has made us a world leader among Christian fellowships, to seek justice and resist evil. In our local organizations, we can support food bank work, breakfast programs, camping opportunities for disadvantaged children. We support women's shelters, advocacy groups, daycares, hot lunch programs, Alcoholics Anonymous, Alateen, out of the cold temporary shelters for the homeless, Habitat for Humanity, on a whole host of other things. As a denomination in Canada, we champion environmentalism, sustainable agriculture, animal rights, things such as Medicare, employment insurance, and public pensions. The rights of women, gays, and lesbians, and disabled people, along with Canada's Aboriginal population, and the elderly, as well as supporting generous immigration policies, overseas development and international debt relief. A whole host of local and national and worldwide initiatives. As a global presence, we have modeled partnership as an alternative form of mission. We have promoted UNICEF, Amnesty International, and the Red Cross. We've joined the fight against landmines, helped bring the world's attention to the AIDS pandemic, and we have been in the forefront of ecumenical relations with other Christian fellowships. The United Church's major support for Ecumenical Coalition in Canada is now united in Kairos, which actively engages church people in struggles for economic justice, support for refugees, advocacy for Indigenous groups, and environmental stability. In biblical times, this is regarding women's rights, husbands had a legal authority to deal with their wives as disposable possessions. Paul argued, he struggled to articulate a higher vision of gender equality. He overturned the social conventions of his day by insisting that husbands as well as wives be subject to one another out of reverence for Christ. He based that on the knowledge that the resurrected Jesus first appeared to Mary Magdalene and then the women among the disciples, who were first to hear the angelic proclamation that he is not here but has risen. Support for slaves and the freedom of slavery. Go to your Bible and read the book on Philemon, the letter to Philemon. ethnic discrimination. Remember that Jesus was raised a Jew, so he had an us against them mentality in his culture because the Jews had been forced into near extinction by forced dispersions and populations that were forced into exile and so on. So overcoming that and then preaching about freedom for slaves and acceptance of Gentiles took a lot of doing way back in the day, 2,000 years ago. It was decided that so long as new converts showed some respect for Jewish sensibilities, they would receive a full and equal membership in the Christian community. A faith that had once been rooted, as most faiths of the ancients were, in ethnicity, had become a universal missionary faith. This all-inclusive model of community grew from the seeds of Jesus' ministry into something that still challenges us 2,000 years later. Galatians chapter 3, verse 28, Paul wrote, "There is no longer Jew or Greek. There is no longer slave or free. There is no longer male and female. For all of you are one in Jesus." Jesus reached out to those who were poor, those who were disenfranchised, victims of disease and discrimination, and the earliest disciples of Jesus took his example and extended it. I'm going to turn to a suggestion here that you go to the United Church of Canada website and check out the section of the website that refers to social justice. And you will find various activities of social justice promoted by the United Church, anti-racism, reconciliation, and Indigenous injustice. At one time, there were forced adoptions of the children of unwed mothers. The United Church has apologized for that action. The United Church promotes action against climate change, action against conversion therapy. That's when, at least here in Saskatchewan, therapists were allowed to try to convert gay people into straight people, sometimes by really strange methods. That whole conversion therapy has been debunked, and I believe it is now law in Saskatchewan that it is illegal to go to enter into conversion therapy. Gender-based violence is an issue that the United Church has addressed, as is poverty and other aspects like food security. Controversial things like mining and resource extraction that disrupts the natural world or the people of an area. Looking after our world, looking after our environment is a big deal. Refugees, peace between Palestinians and Israelis. So a whole host of social justice issues. The challenge for us as individuals is to identify those things that we are particularly concerned about in our society and Bring it up at church council meetings, in coffee discussions after church. Bring it forward as an issue that might be addressed by the much wider church. You're not alone in your concerns with various issues. You might find support from other people within the church and take on that project as a movement that you can get involved with. Go to the website page, look up social justice issues, and see what we're doing. Next week, we'll be back with the second last of the series for seeking our spiritual identity, and I look forward to talking with you then. Thanks for joining us today. Goodbye.